This is for the video I'm calling Finding Your Style, Amazing Speed. Amazing Speed, Finding Your Style. Okay. I want you to understand that not everything that you're going to be taught is necessarily correct or useful for you as a person, as a fighter. There's certain things that you can teach. There's certain things that you can't teach. Well, what is he talking about? For example, Roy Jones Jr. put his hands behind his back and knocked out, what's his name? Look at all these hands where he keeps them. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Look at, there's things that they do at certain times that are calculated risk. And learning what you're comfortable doing and what you have up your sleeve, your tricks, is really important. So I wrote down a couple talking points for the video on Amazing Speed. Now, it's so important to be relaxed and have the proper mindset to be able to loosen up. At around a minute, I start doing my style. My shoulder movements, my head movements, my feet movements. It's kind of a rolling, swinging, Roy Jones Jr. cocky thing I got going on, and that's just my style. And it works very well for me. Snappy, pulling punches. You're pushing punches, you're pulling punches, and the difference between the two. At a minute and 4 seconds in this video, or the video that we're calling Amazing Speed, I drop my hands. At a minute and 4. Okay? Now, I leave them hanging. I can leave them hanging to bait. But I can bring them back to snap and protect. Once I do throw. But at about 109, I throw a quick jab from having my hands at my waist, which is a valuable asset to have as a fighter. It's a quick jab. Now, but notice how my right hand comes up to protect my face automatically. You have to practice this and practice this and practice this and practice this to have and having the right mindset while you're practicing it and while you're in practice to get into doing it the correct way. But also being able to do it in a way that is comfortable for you and faster for you. And I land those jabs from my hips faster than people land their jabs from a high guard, and that's it. And it's only something that you can get from practice. If your hands are at your waist and you can throw shots from any angle, it'll teach you how to fight tired. I do it again at the video at 109 after my quick jab. I do it again, and I leave it up there to bait my opponent, or I use it to shake him off. I use it to control the range on his rush in, if he's an aggressive fighter. I can use it in the back step, tag him on the way out, tag. Roy Jones Jr. does it a lot, and moves, and gets out of the way, tag and move, tag and move, tag and move. Sometimes I turn my body out halfway through a 1-2 or a 1-3 or a 2-3 combination to slip out, slip in, slip out, slip back in, throw one on the way out, slip back in, and by the time he's recovering from that snappy one I just threw in, I'm banging him up. I'm so many different people in the ring that it's hard for me to understand why I'm so gifted, because I'm blessed. And I'm not cocky. It's hard for me to get the cockiness out of my video. I know that. Sorry about that. That's just me. At the same time, I'm no Floyd Mayweather. I'm not judging anybody. I don't have an opinion about anybody that's bad. Everybody is, if you're doing something, you're doing something. If you're helping people, you're helping people. And that's all I care about. But it's hard for me to be ashamed at something that I'm good at. I'm not going to apologize for something that I think I'm good at. Take pride in what you do, and have your quality to to what you do. At 150, they're coming from my hips, and the reason that it's important to be able to be so loose all the time is you need to fight the fight that's in front of you. That's the best advice I have from you. Is you have to recognize automatically the way he's fighting and the way you're going to need to push back. What you're going to need to do. Fight the fight that's in front of you. Remember that. Don't come in 1-2, 6-2. You know, fight the fight that's in front of you. You know, you box a fighter, you fight a boxer. You know. And see, at 150, they're coming from my hips and they're landing flush faster than most people's jabs or crosses. This is a very, very underrated asset. If you can land your right hand as an orthodox from your hips faster than he can land a jab from his high guard or his cross, that is a very, very good thing to know how to do. And I'm staring right into his eyes when I do it, and so many guys take their eyes off of their opponents, or the bag, shadow boxing. You know, you need to act like there's someone in front of you at all times. You have to be able to focus and shut everything out. And if you're doing that, if you can't do that, I know a lot of guys who can't do that in a gym situation because of all the stimuli, of all the meatheads walking around, or all the pretty girls that are walking around, you know, and it's hard sometimes. I don't turn my knee in on my left hooks. I just don't, and it's more comfortable for me, and I'm quicker with it. If I try to turn my knee in, I find I lose my balance. Fundamentally, it's not right. It's not right, you know, but it's just one of those things. At 259, I start throwing some overhand rights. Now, the things, and I throw a couple of them, and they're all from different angles, and they're all for different situations. And they help me to see my ranges. It helps me to see my tells, what my tells are. If you can film yourself training, it's a very good thing to be able to go back and look at, to see your footwork, because my footwork is horrid today in this video. Horrid, absolutely horrible. But this is what's called practice. At 3:30, I start practicing my jab, beating his jab. I'm visualizing him telegraphing. I'm seeing his tail come, his jab, and I'm beating his jab with my jab. And then I'm beating his jab with my cross. And that's an important thing to be able to do. It's so underrated. Your straight line pop on the chin, and having no tails with your hands dropped. Try figuring out how to do that and what's comfortable for you. Because, you know, you drop your hands, you have no tails, and then you come in, you know, like I did in this video with my with the Irish accent, you know, like from a movie that rhymes with Knatch, and I slap his shot out of the way, I step out of the way and bang, and it's all one fluid motion. And to be able to do that, and to be able to know that you're comfortable in doing it, is knowing that you don't have to be reactionary. Boxing is so complicated and so simple. And you have to be so stiff and so loose. And you have to hold on to everything you know, but let go of everything you know. Okay? Fight the fight that's in front of you. I'm going to have to make a part 2 of this because it's too long. Fight the fight that's in front of you, and figure out a way to loosen up, because when you do, you are open to be able to be taught or figure out something about yourself that you might not know. Sometimes I watch these videos and I surprise myself at how quick I'm throwing, because how I throw them at my bag isn't how I throw them in a real fight, obviously. I don't have the proper equipment. I don't have mitts. I don't have a partner. I have a heavy bag. And that's all I have to show you on, too. I wouldn't be practicing these things on a heavy bag. You don't practice these things on a heavy bag. You practice them shadow boxing first. One of the most underutilized things you guys can do is shadow box. I've been working on a problem on a bag for weeks at a time, and then I shadow box one time and I figure out what I'm doing wrong. Okay? It's underutilized. So this is part one. Part two coming up. Thanks, guys.